To me, it wasn't about recreational shooting. Good Lord, they couldn't afford it. Ammunition is expensive, it's difficult to manufacture. And many of you may not agree with this, but it didn't have a whole lot to do with personal defense either. It was understood through Anglo-Saxon law, clear back well before the 1400th century, that a person had the right to repel lethal force with lethal force. That wasn't a consideration. What they were worried about was the British regulars. What they were worried about was tyrannical government. What they were worried about was oppressive government. They were worried about the ability to ensure the retention of personal liberty through the retention of a free, democratic, and representative government. That was their concern. And any attorney, I don't care what his political bent is, if he goes back and researches that, it becomes clearly apparent. There's no way to argue that. That was the important part. And if you put that to people that don't really think about it or care or are completely on the pro-gun control side, their immediate response, well, if that's the case, why can't you have a ballistic missile? Why can't you have a Sherman tank? And I was dumbfounded by that because it became clearly, first of all, let's get basic. Most of those defense systems are team defense systems. An individual can't operate them. Second of all, and God forbid it ever should happen, but the Second Amendment acts as a lighthouse. And that became clear to me, and I'm no gun nut. I've never owned one until I got this lever action Winchester. But it became clear to me that the Second Amendment was that I could have breached the security at Sandy Hook Elementary. I could have shot 20 young children. I could have shot 6 adults, and I could have done it with that single action in that 6-shooter. The fact that that young man, deranged man, had an assault rifle didn't change the outcome there. It didn't make sense. The idea that you limit how many bullets you can put into a gun at a time, I'm not an expert, and I could load that lever action almost as fast as I can shoot it. It wouldn't have made any difference. It made no sense to me. That is such a serious event and something that we all together have to prevent from happening again. I want serious answers. I want real answers. I don't want these proposals that won't change the outcome in the future. It angers me that people take that tack when they don't have any real results. Maybe you can convince me otherwise. Universal background checks. I work in an industry where you have registries for people that shouldn't do certain things. Perhaps the universal national registry for people that shouldn't receive guns is something that is workable. I don't know. What I don't want to see happen is a universal national registry of people that do have guns, that are responsible. That, to me, is a step towards you-know-what. So, anyway, I didn't have any intention to come over to your talk today.
Thank you.
But I wanted you to hear from people that aren't part of your group. And this is what I found through, I believe, what was unbiased, open-minded, looking at the problem. And it became clear to me that as soon as they talk about you don't need a certain weapon to hunt, I'm thinking it has nothing to do with hunting. And, you know, really, it doesn't have a whole lot to do with personal defense. It has to do with an armed citizenry, so we never have to load ourselves on cattle cars to crack out. You know, it became apparent to me, who's not part of your ilk, that that's what's going on. And I guess what I want you to understand too, and it became also the people I know, this may look like a light turnout, and you watch the media, they're going to make this sound like a light turnout. But people of your ilk, they're the type of people that go about their own business. They want to be left alone.
That's right.
For every one of you here today in the state of Washington, I am convinced there must be hundreds that aren't here that have the same strong belief and faith in the U.S. Constitution, including all of its amendments.
Yes.
And I would take heart in that regardless of how they may portray this outcome today, at least they're going to have to realize that somebody that isn't a gun nut and has never in his life before